Hello and welcome to Don't Feed the Geeks, presented by the Long Island Comic Guys. I am TC, joined tonight by JJ, Toy Story, and a special addition to our group tonight. So after our Batman episode, we were reminded what a well of knowledge our friend Zach was, not to mention an all-around asset in the world of comics and art. We decided we would be remiss, good word,
good word,
if we didn't at least ask him to be part of the Long Island Comic Guys. So here he is, the bonus Jonas brother and newest member of the Long Island Comic Guys, Zach D. By the way, your Long Island Comic Guys nickname is definitely Bonus Jonas.
I think that's perfect.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Great to have you,
Zach. We're excited for you to be a part of this. We hope it brings us in. Just by the way, the DM can't be here tonight. He had other responsibilities, but we're excited that we're growing our group. And unfortunately, when we did the Batman episode, we didn't get a chance to touch upon your art background.
Oh, that's okay.
So because you do the arts, right?
I sometimes do draw, yes.
So why don't you talk about a little bit of your background in that, so give people an idea, all the millions of people out there who don't know who you are. Everybody's got to know. Do you know who Zach is? Everyone knows.
I don't know who that guy is. So I went to school for art. My wife told me I can't do the ums, so I will try and refrain from doing those.
That's the least of our problems here. So that's okay. Just do the ums.
No.
You'll start to hate your voice, don't worry.
So I went to St. John's University for art in 2005 to 2009. I studied illustration there. It's a very small art department at St. John's University, but it's a great little resource. It's a great little spot to be in. There I go with the ums. But I learned a ton there. I had some really great professors, some really great teachers. Max Hergenrother, Thomas Kerr, Joe Adolph, amongst them, were really key for getting me going. I graduated in 2009, and for those of you who live under a rock, 2008 was kind of a rough year for everyone.
That was the first year of my new job.
So I wound up working at a comic shop for I was going to take the job for a year, and it wound up being about 5. But I still draw. I'm actually a teacher now. So I teach at a high school here on Long Island, and I have a little comic and cartooning club that meets every week on Tuesdays, which is a lot of fun.
You also met a much more talented artist during your time at St. John's.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Your wife?
The best part about my time at St. John's University is that I met my wife there. She is fantastic. She is super talented and makes everyone that... Well, it makes me look like trash.
So I'll be honest with you. The reason we decided to bring you into the group is so we can get her an interview with Carrie.
Yeah, you're going to try and get Carrie to talk?
Yes.
Good luck.
So what was the comic book store that you used to work at?
I used to work at Best Comics over in New Hyde Park. Tommy there was fantastic. Took me in, gave me a shot, and I like to think that I pulled my weight there.
Yeah.
Ding, plug for Best.
There you go. You definitely pulled your weight. I think I helped add to some of that weight. So thank you.
A little bit. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh no, my wife is going to thank you later personally.
Wow.
Not the way you think. No, sorry.
She poisoned the food, didn't she?
Oh yeah, that's at least she's more.
That's the least of your worries.
Yeah, she's more violent than that.
Okay. So it's more Red Wedding more than Joffrey's Wedding. I
Yeah,
gotcha.
probably.
Okay.
That's a good comparison.
Who doesn't love Game of Thrones?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. So moving on to our next talking point here. This is kind of an Avengers episode, huh? Did we see the movie?
I think we did. It was a while
I don't
ago.
remember.
I think, what is it, 3 or 4 weeks since it came
Has it
out.
made
I think it's 3 weeks.
By the time this comes out, it'll be 4 weeks.
Has it made any money?
A little bit. I think it's almost in the top 20.
So we should let everybody know this is. Did we say that this was our Avenger episode?
No, we didn't.
All right, so let's go ahead. Tell me what episode this is.
This is episode 9, Avengers Assemble.
Are there going to be spoilers in this episode?
Yes.
Extremely
A lot of
spoiler heavy.
spoilers.
Should I have seen the movie?
Yeah.
Did you not see it?
Oh, guys, I'll be back in 3 hours. Nah, of course I saw it.
Yeah, so this is your formal spoiler warning.
Yes. I think it's been plenty of time. If you haven't seen it, they lifted the spoiler ban. Is that what they were calling it?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think it's free to talk. So I think it literally got lifted the day after our last podcast was released.
Yep.
So I was like, all right. So I'm kind of happy that we didn't talk about the movie then.
Yeah.
But let's go into it. So Zach, we kind of already gave our grades, but I think we should give them again because I think we
Mine's
kinda
up a
changed
little,
them.
I think.
Yeah, mine's up a little bit too. So obviously, you know how the comic book grading works. If you could apply a grade without saying
And that's a CGC grade, not a CBCS, right?
Hey, we're not we're not specifying
okay.
companies.
To PGX.
PGX. I was going to say PGX.
Oh, jeez.
You could give it a page quality too.
I thought the pages were white.
Whoa.
White off white. No. I think it's hard to you guys want me to give it a grade. I think the movie itself
For you, it
is
should
hard to
be-
quantify because it's not just a single movie. It's like a sequel to last year's movie, and it's a culmination of these
Right.
22 movies.
Right. You're all right about that, but as this movie alone.
For how it made me feel, I'm going to go with 9.0.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I liked it.
That's a fair grade.
See, I'm sticking-
I mean, for him personally.
I'm sticking with my 6.65 because it did have a few page breaks.
There-
It did have a couple tears.
Not saying that there weren't
it
issues.
was a staple that's been a little bit
It was a
off.
little-
So
Offset.
Am I going to be allowed to change my grade at the end if I realize that there are flaws that I did not see? I'm usually pretty good at seeing the flaws.
It's absolutely fine. I think mine upped from a hard 6 to I think it's a 6.5.
Mine up
I'm gonna
from
give
a 6.5 to a 7.
Okay.
I realized it presents better than a 6.5, so
I guess I really need to see a second time. I mean,
it's just so
Yeah.
long. I want
You guys
I
are
know.
so harsh. Jeez.
I think we definitely are. We are.
yeah.
I think
especially this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I am. I was like, I feel like I like the first one a lot better.
Oh,
If you were to
Infinity
ask
War?
Me, yeah, I might have given Infinity War probably a 9.
Yeah.
Infinity War is tremendous, and
Yeah.
it probably is the stronger of the two movies. It probably is
Absolutely.
the better of the two movies. But I think the payoff in this movie and the,
Exactly.
Also, what it
endings-
set out to do.
Yeah.
Like what it had to
Yes.
wrap up.
My thing was basically like I'll get into it as we talk about it, but the last quarter of that movie was
Perfect.
unbelievable.
yes,
Perfect.
agreed.
Where do we start?
Where do we start?
Let's go with Jim.
Jim, what?
start at the beginning.
Yeah, so
Or-
give us what you liked first. and
Like
then
what
you
factor?
don't
What
like.
factored into your rating?
That's a good question. I mean, bringing all the characters together was like primo. I like that. That was great. I think, it started off strong. It ended strong. The middle just, I kind of felt the whole time travel thing was a little hokey. Sitting there watching it, a lot of it didn't make sense because they were going back in time in different groups, and it was just to me it felt a little hokey. I don't know.
Before the last episode, we literally had an entire conversation, which is the day after.
We should have
We
recorded
did.
that.
We should have recorded that.
Which was trying to see
While
if
we were
there was
eating
any
for like an
holes
hour.
in the in the time travel scheme, and we really couldn't find them. It seems like
There's two issues with the time travel.
there
Have-
is.
This is coming from the guy who said 9.0. There's two issues with the
Okay.
time
Let
travel.
Let me hear what yours are.
One, Loki got away with the Tesseract,
Yes.
which means that he's not there for Thor: The Dark
Correct.
World, which means there is a splinter within the timeline there, so the timeline doesn't go back to normal. And I assume that this is how they get the Loki TV series that they're doing on Disney Plus. And I don't know if that's a matter, but like
I feel like that's not a hole if it's intentional. So we'll see.
if it's intentional. It also depends on we're getting like post Avengers like villain Loki, not
Kind of reform.
Infinity War.
Yeah,
Loki.
we're not getting
Yeah.
post Dark World, Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War Loki, where he's on the up and up. He's redeeming himself a little bit. We're getting like straight up villain Loki. Is he going to do the right thing and put the cube back? And then the second thing is the ending, which I don't know if we want to
Yeah.
jump right
Good.
into. Yeah, Cap.
He wouldn't have showed back up.
That's my gripe. Yeah.
Did he come back in place of original Cap, and like he just like knew he had to be. I don't understand.
And
Like, that creates another splinter. That creates a total
Because if he would have
splinter.
teleported back to where they originally set him off from, he would have appeared in that little area.
Yeah, he just would have been
and he didn't.
like super
But the way
old, which would have been fine.
The way they
actually.
portray it is like Back to the Future-ish, where he waited until that moment of
Right.
time and then sat there. But they said over and over, this is not Back to the Future.
Right.
So you brought up Cap. So he went back to return all the stones, right?
Right.
Yeah.
To all the stones.
Yeah, how do you return the Soul Stone?
So how did he return that? And he would have came face to face with the Red Skull,
Which I would have loved to have
Wouldn't
seen.
Yeah.
that?
At the point in that movie, that would have been a distraction.
And that
You're
really,
right.
they didn't take.
Yeah.
They didn't take the stone. Like they didn't steal the stone from that. Like they didn't take the stone during the time travel. They got it.
Yeah, they didn't
'Cause
steal it.
They had to sacrifice somebody to get it.
Right.
So does that mean that
How does it go back?
Scarlett Johansson, she's alive? Like it.
Well, no, I think how it happened. They
How do
still
you,
had to go.
and
they
how do you
still had
give
to
that
go
back?
in time?
How do you give that back?
That's the question. I have no idea how they give it back.
So
there is a Black Widow movie coming out, which made that scene like stupendously surprising to me.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to play out a completely different way.
I think it was. I think everyone was expecting.
I was
it
floored.
gonna
I was
be
like, what
origin story.
It feels weird to do an origin story after she's been in it for this long already.
Right.
But
Like
that's-
8 years
matter.
later, do an
Well,
origin story
I- I-
after she died.
I'd like to see more of her before she became an Avenger because there's a
For
lot.
sure, but
there's a
would I.
There's a lot. There's a lot to her. I mean, from
Oh,
what
yeah,
she
there
where.
is.
Relax.
I'm just saying. I'm saying if she didn't die, it would have felt more acceptable. But the fact that she's dead supposedly, and now they're going back in time and doing origin stuff, it just feels weird.
Is this going to be a retcon where Cap returns the Soul Stone and is able to get her back somehow?
I don't think so. I think I heard
That just seems too
interview-
convoluted and
Yeah.
complicated.
It seemed that the Russo brothers said that she's gone.
That's what they said.
they
She's
straight said
gone.
that
She's
she's
dead.
Yeah.
That was.
But then again,
It makes sense.
like they've also said, any future directors, writers, like the floor is there.
Wait,
so they could
are
do
the
whatever they
Russo
want.
brothers related to Rene Russo? I didn't realize this until before.
Russo
think
doesn't
so.
seem like a common name. I doubt it.
But then I would,
There's
so going back to that, I mean, what happened when Cap saw the Red Skull? Like, what happened there? Here you go. I'm going to kick your butt again.
Well, I don't think he's even.
Also, how do you
Red Skull
return
anymore.
that?
That's what boggled
doesn't
my.
make
Like, there was some of these little tiny incidents where it bothered
And
me.
like I get it, you can't account for every single little thing,
Right.
Or
I
like
I feel
you,
like they're
it's
still
hard
gonna
to
address it though.
Yeah, they got to at some point.
Yeah. Like there's got to be some wanting of more.
Yeah. I mean, overall, the whole time travel thing, I wasn't as I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is kind of like you said, hokey.
was hokey.
The more that I think about it, though, and I was watching some interviews with the Russos before, and they were saying how they specifically wanted to avoid anything like Back to the Future, so that's
Right.
why they went into the whole multiverse thing. And I was like, all right, that makes sense. They're trying to do it their own way.
And then can we-
spin on it?
I'm sorry.
But no, it's okay.
And then can we talk about so the chemical the wasp
Pin particles.
yes. How much did Thanos have of that to get an entire ship
Yeah,
with
that-
thousands of people on it through a port? Like,
An
it took
entire
one little
army.
vial to get one person through it. Now he's bringing an entire ship.
That was kind of glossed over.
You know what?
I mean, he could have had his own time travel technology.
I doubt that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually
The
assumed
ship
that
came in through that portal. they
I mean,
built.
he got what she had, right?
She
Yeah.
did.
I'm
He
sure
did.
they like with their advanced technology, or maybe they didn't have some. They could have probably synthesized a large amount of it once they,
it just-
analyzed it.
I don't think you need to specify everything.
Yeah, I mean, like,
it slows the movie down
that's
way
less
too
of an
much.
issue. Like that part was less of an issue. I
mean-
feel like that's like an answer. Like the other ones we had, it's just like,
But as you're sitting there watching, you're going, how did that?
well, that's
because
that's the way our crazy brains.
yeah,
work.
yeah. So there's just little things though on my
Yeah.
end.
So yeah, I was just saying the whole time travel thing. Like I'm okay with that now, but like you said, loved the beginning, loved the ending, the middle. It felt like a lot of it wasn't needed, so to speak, or it didn't need to be. As
I think
long
if
as
it was an hour less, it would have been fine. They cut out cut an hour somewhere in the middle.
You cut out an hour of the movie that ends this saga, you're going to have fans wanting
yeah,
more.
you're right. You're right.
Even if they cut
Maybe
it
they
down
could have
But
broken
also,
it up
like,
into. They could
20
probably
minutes,
broke it up
maybe.
into two movies.
Yeah,
and game one and game two. I don't know.
but this was done in a way where if you, from when they left to when they came back, if you took out that whole middle, you can infer everything that happened. Like none of it's really needed. I felt like, it's good to see the good. Like I like that they went back to the old scenes in the movies. Especially for a last movie in this saga, it was really good for them to kind of bring that old stuff back. But I just felt like it was a little too much.
I love that they split everybody into teams.
Yeah, that was
like,
cool.
and it was some weird pairings. It was some fun pairings.
Did you say something that you actually specifically liked?
Oh, yeah, I liked the beginning and I liked the end. The war scene was unbelievable.
I didn't realize you were getting that specific.
No, the war scene was fantastic. I mean, to watch
On your left.
Oh yeah, right.
That was great,
and it was nice to see they brought everybody in like from beginning to end. I mean, that was a battle. I mean,
not Lady Sif.
No, not Lady Sif.
Oh, they didn't bring her in.
She's still very. So I think the fact that she wasn't in Ragnarok, I think she was supposed to, but she started that TV show, Blind Spot or whatever it's called, and they're like, "Hey, come in, we want you to do this." She's like, "I can't." And I think from there they kind of felt slighted, even though she.
I didn't realize that.
She said that she's totally open to doing stuff, but I heard she might show up in Loki, the TV show.
That sounds good.
I don't know if that, but I would like to see what happened with her story.
Were the other brothers 3 there?
Oh, they're dead.
They're dead.
Oh, they did die.
Ragnarok.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Opening
right.
scene at Ragnarok.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Matt, you want to go next?
So one thing,
Like, love. Did you have a thing that you hated, Jim? Sorry.
that's okay.
I don't know. Hate's a strong word. I don't think I
there was
hated
nothing
anything.
Displeased with?
No, it was just okay.
Okay.
That's why I gave it my 6.5. It was okay.
I just don't like that they killed Black Widow. I don't know.
That was probably bothered me most. I liked her. I just,
Yeah, I liked her. I didn't like.
And
I
it's,
don't know.
And it's funny because obviously what happened at the end that we lose Tony Stark.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, like people haven't really been focusing on it.
Yeah.
I actually
It
thought they were
happens
going to
right
kill
in the
off
middle of the
more. I thought they were going to kill off more.
I did too. I thought the whole time going in that it was going to be Cap that sacrificed.
Not Game of
himself.
Thrones killing, but just I thought there were going to
more.
be a couple of more.
Yeah.
Well, I knew it was really only going to be those two. Those two were the only ones I wasn't expecting to see again.
Yeah.
Cap and
Was
Iron Man.
and Iron Man.
I was a little surprised. I was very surprised about Black Widow.
I think everybody was.
I was a little surprised about Iron Man for some weird reason.
I had a feeling it was going to.
I know.
I thought it was going
It
to be
makes
Cap.
the most sense. Yeah, I thought
does.
the whole time I thought it was Cap.
I thought it was Cap the whole time. As that whole battle scene with him and Thanos.
Oh, my God.
And he brought down that. I thought that was Cap's time.
Yeah.
He's done. This was a great ending for him.
I did like the way he wound up going out, though. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's
I think they both went.
even
out really
though
well.
that the whole like logistics about it is very unclear. But I was like, whatever. Like so the way I was kind of justifying it to myself with that whole ending scene is like, all right, what if that only because like the only explanation we got for it is that interaction between the Ancient One and the Hulk.
Right.
That's like all right, this is going to be the part of the movie where we explain how the time travel thing is going to work to everybody. Right. So maybe if you don't take an Infinity Stone out of the timeline, it doesn't alter it, and that's the only thing I can expect from them as an explanation as to why when he went after he brought them all back, he was able to just stay there and not alter. I mean, he could have also like stayed there, been with her, been very quiet, didn't not alter anything. Because but it's hard to believe the Steve Rogers Captain America we know could go back in time and not interfere in stuff that's happening around him. But to know that if he did, it would alter the timeline, and that would be the only thing that would hold him back. It's just still, it's hard to take that.
And how did he live all those years alongside himself? Who was obviously still there.
Well,
He wasn't
until-
himself.
No, like with
10
another
years
one of
prior.
him existing.
No, he wasn't though.
He's in the
he
ice.
He was in the ice at that time.
Yeah, but not later on.
Yeah, but the same thing. He fought himself in that movie, and that was like,
Yeah.
I could have done without that. That whole
was
America's.
That's America's butt.
Yeah, I was
A
like,
different
that was-
word.
Yeah, we discussed this the other night, where it's like that's just kind of to make a little equality about how objectifying of male and female body. But I was, it was
Maybe he
fine.
just has a nice butt.
Yeah. All right, Matt. Let's hear your positives, your likes and dislikes.
One of my favorite things to see, and this was reiterated because I rewatched Iron Man 1 this week for the first time forever.
Oh, you know that song too?
For the first time. I had to think for a second.
Sorry, a lot of frozen have been going on
I know.
lately.
No, but to see, to compare the first 10 minutes of Iron Man 1, when Tony Stark is this arrogant, womanizing
Yep.
SOB, compared to what he did in this movie. Like it is just, it reminded me how amazing of a journey this is, how far he's come, and how this was such a good wrap up to him.
Yep.
And how now like it sucks that he's gone, but I'm happy with how it ended.
Yep.
Like very happy.
Yeah, no, the ending was very good.
That was my favorite part about it by far.
What was what wasn't you? What weren't
The
you
whole
too
middle,
crazy
like
about?
I said, I don't know why. It just
What about the middle? What in particular did you find that just kind of dragged?
it dragged. Yeah, I didn't feel like we needed to
You didn't-
see all of that. Like I liked seeing
You didn't like seeing Hulk in the diner?
I have specifics. If you
Oh, okay.
sorry, what?
No,
what were you gonna say?
I have one more just
Go.
off the top. Like, okay, so Thanos, it took a star
That
to build the glove. Mm-hmm. Tony just built one in the back's in a garage.
He built it in a cave with a box of scraps.
Well, right, but it took a power of a star.
and the dwarves who
build.
made Mjolnir to build it.
Right,
Ooh, I found out something.
Is it not them?
but
Is it not pronounced meow meow?
do I need to continue? Because
But it has nothing to do with this.
so let's continue. So, like,
And
out of the
Tony
blue,
Stark makes one in
and
the
he
back
knew
room.
he knew how to build one. He just,
Yeah.
I'm going to build the glove. There it is, and these stones are just going to go
But
in
it
there.
also wasn't sustainable, though.
It's still
Well, neither was
held on.
Thanos's.
What's that?
The same thing that happened to Tony happened to Thanos. Thanos is just bigger and took the blow.
Yeah, his was stronger. That's what I'm saying.
Well, no, I saw that as Thanos is bigger and stronger. Like not human.
No, but I'm saying he's talking about the glove specifically.
The glove's made of nanotech. It's self healing. Wasn't it established in like Iron Man 3 that he could do that?
Nanotech, yeah.
Yeah.
Extremist?
How long
So it's
ago was
better-
that?
So stronger than Dwarf Star. Okay, there's your.
Okay, all right. So
I don't
Tony Stark
think it's
Nano-
stronger than a dwarf star, but
So that was the other thing that bothered me.
So
there's a lot that doesn't.
It just doesn't jive.
listen, it's hard, especially when you have people like us that like dissect these
Critique
movies,
it, like,
minutely. It's
To be
almost
clear,
getting
we
to the
did-
point where we don't enjoy them as much as we used to.
I still
No.
thoroughly enjoyed it.
No, to be clear, we did like it.
Yeah,
6'5".
Oh my god.
I was bothered by one of the parts at the end where he just like chops up Cap's shield. I was like pretty sure that's the strongest thing.
Yeah.
So that sword, they're saying they basically don't say it directly, but it's like it's made out of Uru metal, which is the same thing as Mjolnir. And it's like, yeah, Cap's shield, Thor hit it one time, but it wasn't like a sharp blade or anything like that. So like apparently Uru metal is the strongest in the universe. So that's why I was able to break the vibranium. But now we'll have to find out later on if it can break adamantium.
So is Thor going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy?
It seems
Yes.
so.
I definitely see that
I'm
happening.
excited for that.
Hopefully he's thinner.
And that was the other thing. Like, we had too much of him.
Well, that's
It was great the first scene where he's
Yeah.
that was funny, but then it was
I
like
liked Fat Thor better than Professor Hulk.
So I didn't like. I liked initially seeing both of them, like at the diner. Like I liked the diner scene. Like people are like, oh, it's stupid. Like I like the diner scene, but then that's like I eventually want to see him at the end. Excuse me, Hulk out. And I was like,
It's not going to happen.
yeah.
no, he did that in Avengers movie,
yeah,
the
but
first
how,
one.
like we discussed this the other day. Like how many times like has he been smart Hulk, and then all of a sudden he rages into like Hulk again, like the real raging Hulk.
I mean, it's usually a different creative team.
exactly.
It's true.
Yeah, but I mean, I was a similar thing with both those guys. Like I liked the initial of them, but I would have liked to have seen them in their true form by the end. Like by the time like he raises like the, by the time Thor raises his hammer and he like turns to lightning, I was like, he should just basically be able to go back to being thin again once he does that. I was like, come on, you got God, lightning, metal, whatever flowing through you. Like you can be fit again. It's cool.
He's going to use the Bowflex on the.
Well, I'm pretty sure
on the
the reason
Guardians of the
they-
Galaxy
Yeah, you're
ship.
right.
I'm pretty sure the reason he did that is because he slimmed down so much for this Men in Black thing. He's like, he's too skinny.
He's
Let's
real
just-
thin in
Let's
that
just make
trailer.
him fat.
Oh, that's actually a really smart way to do that.
Yeah.
That's really smart.
He's real thin in that
And
trailer.
they tie it into the story,
Yeah.
Like he's suffering from crazy depression, thinking that everything's his
I did
fault.
like that though, like
Yeah.
seeing how like I felt like that brought out a lot more humanity and relatability.
No,
to
that
him.
whole scene and I love
In
his
the house, right?
interactions with the other guy. What's
Korg.
Korg?
I love
that guy.
Korg.
Where he yells at the guy, "This is the god of thunder, Thor. I will smite you." What is it?
Noob.
Noob 69.
New Master 69.
I really want that to. We find out down the road that's Loki. That'd be amazing.
That's funny. Yeah, sorry, things are coming at me as we're talking, and that's
Yeah,
why.
it's all good. You got, is that it? Did we cover you?
Yeah, that's about it for me. The rest I really, really liked, but the whole going back in time and seeing all the old movies and stuff, like I felt like it was too much of that. I would have liked to see maybe half as much.
Like honestly, like one of the things that I was like, I didn't really need to see Cap fight himself. I was like, that was kind of unnecessary.
But he didn't do it all day. It was like
The whole Nebula thing.
Could have though.
Nebula was fantastic. She had a great story in this movie.
Yeah, I did enjoy that.
I did like the scene in the elevator though. Where
Oh, that was great.
I was like, oh man, is he gonna throw down with these guys again? I was like, this is gonna just add like 45 minutes. He goes, Hell Hydra, and they're like,
No, that came from that. I would imagine
was
that
awesome.
I was like, that's-
Cap
that's
America,
awesome.
that
Yeah.
Cap book 1. What is it? Where he became he's a Hydra agent.
Yeah,
He did the same thing. He's like, Hell Hydra.
That was great.
that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's it for me. You want to go?
Yeah, I'll go because I wrote a bunch of stuff down.
8 pages down.
So one of the things I really liked, I'm big fan, and overall the time travel, I'm with you, I didn't love when he goes back and he sees his dad, and the Howard Stark played by John Slattery, it was just like awesome.
That was the best part of the middle.
Yeah, no knock to Dominic Cooper's, but it just seems like they're two totally different people in their portrayal of I think that's his name, right? Dominic Cooper, yeah, of Howard Stark, and that was just awesome. It kind of wrapped up like his like kind of like dad issues, and like that was just a great scene. Like honestly, it was a great scene. Like you don't really expect from almost a superhero movie, and at the same time you get a little bit of kind of a little foreshadowing of like what's going through Cap's head of probably why he decided to go back and do that when he sees what's her name again?
Peggy Carter.
Peggy Carter. Sorry, I was going to call her Sharon.
No, that's her niece.
I know.
That's a whole
it's
other weird
weird.
way.
That's a whole
to
Game
go.
of Thrones thing right there.
Yeah, so I mean, I really like that, and I know me and Toy Story briefly touched on this before, but I did actually like Thor going back because he never really kind of got closure with his mom either, and I did like that. It was funny like to see him and Rocket together were a lot of fun.
Oh my God,
Like
so
they were
good.
like, he's like, come on, I was like, I can, I'm gonna go get the grog or whatever he's
I
getting.
can't wait for Guardians 3 now.
And then like when he got the hammer, I was like, oh my God, I was like, this is gonna be awesome. Yeah, and then what was that from? Oh, yeah, yeah. But I mean, like other than that, the beginning, I was just like, I feel like I'll go into that in my like kind of dislikes, but when they get all the stones back, like up to there, the movie's incredible. I mean, seeing Cap pick up Mjolnir.
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 Mew.
Meow meow.
Like that's just an incredible scene. Like I want that book now, but so does everyone else. So like, now I'm not going to get it, but I should.
You gotta wait a little bit.
Yeah, but
It'll
great.
cool
Like
off.
that fight scene, just him, Tony, and Thor, like fighting Thanos at the end. You got the Hulk holding up the whole goddamn Avengers mansion.
It's so cool.
It was just the end on, and then when everybody comes at the end, and they battle it out, and like he brings his whole army, and Captain Marvel comes and she's useless. She's just so. All right, am I done talking about positives here?
Do you want to talk about that? Because that bothered me too.
So
She bothered me too.
I just like, and nothing against her personally. I really like, I feel like it's almost a target on my back because I don't like her because it's not PC not to like her. But I don't like the way she's portraying the character. I like the character. I love the character. I want to see more of this character. I don't like the way she's doing it. She's very cold, very dry. It's just like, there's no emotion there. It's like they should just have Vision play her as Vision. Like, she just be Vision playing Captain Marvel. I was like, it seems like a robot, and I get nothing from it.
I had an issue with how little she was in this movie.
She shot this movie before Captain Marvel.
I know.
Yeah, I
I
know.
heard about that.
I know.
She had no idea what her character arc was. I don't think she had the script for the other movie. She was just kind of like, hey, you're going to be in this movie and go.
It didn't get better in Captain.
They filmed most of this before Infinity War even came out.
It's Captain Marvel is the only Marvel movie I haven't seen to this day.
You're not missing much.
I mean, I'll give you.
I'm going to see it.
Listen,
Yeah.
it wasn't a bad movie. I enjoyed it for the most part, but I mean, we won't get into that. It's just, I think there were better people than her.
Okay.
Natalie Dormer.
Yes, I've gone into a Natalie.
I mean,
Portman thing a lot.
who doesn't love Natalie?
And
Portman?
she has the shaved hair thing, so she could do both along with other. Yeah. So the other thing I really liked, I pulled at the feels as a dad is like when he says like during his final speech to her, the "Love You 3000." I was like, oh boy. I was like, yep, good scene.
Yeah.
And then that whole like
The funeral.
funeral.
I felt like
everyone
they
there.
should have had Stan Lee there.
That probably would have been better. And that was another thing. I think that was probably filmed way in advance, and it wasn't a great Stan Lee scene in this movie. He was just driving by in his like car. I was like,
I don't know. I just felt like he should have been standing there with everybody.
yeah.
I was expecting a little more Stanley than that drive-by. I thought it was a little.
I mean,
cheesy.
they've never really given Stan Lee more than that, though. I think that's the right.
They've
amount
given
of
him.
Stan.
They've given him better scenes.
No, I agree. Like that's probably one of the weakest ones. Like the Captain Marvel one was absolutely fantastic.
What was it? Remind me.
He's reading the script. He's reading the script for Mallrats. I read spoilers on a
She
lot
kind
of
of gives
stuff,
him
guys.
the nod and stuff like that. It was good. I really liked that one. But yeah, I mean, like we talked about the send off for Cap. So he goes back, he gives all the stones, and then he goes and lives his life with Peggy. And whether
we
that's
assume.
I mean, it could.
I mean, it doesn't make sense if it's not her.
It'd be so funny. I'd love to hear the story. So one of the things I did hear, and someone was interviewing the Russo brothers, and apparently Cap's story isn't done. That's Steve Rogers' story.
That's what I heard too.
And they said you'll understand more soon. So
They said I saw an interview with them today. They said like Chris Evans is done. So I don't know about Steve Rogers, what they would do.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe if they get another guy, I'm fine with that. Just give me Steve Rogers.
Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood finally gets to be Captain America.
He should have been. I'm pushing for his son to be
Wolverine.
Yeah.
I could see it. I could definitely see it.
I already talked about how I didn't really love the whole Smart Hulk and was it Professor Hulk he's referred to?
Yeah,
and Fat Thor for the whole movie. Yeah, like a lot of it was boring. There's some scenes, like some of the time travel I liked. Some of it was like, I feel like Ronin. I didn't really need Ronin. Like he looked cool. It was awesome. It was like, I feel like it wasn't necessary for the movie.
Ronin?
Ronin, the
accuser?
Hawkeye Ronin.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. Do they refer to him as Ronin at all?
They
don't know. I don't
did.
know. I think so.
Yes.
They do?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it was like the outfit looked cool and it was okay, and like I get he's
he could've
hurting,
been
but
cut.
TC,
Yeah.
they have to sell action figures.
yeah, understandable. What were you saying?
No.
Yeah.
He's agreeing. Action figures.
Yeah, I think that was kind of it in terms of like the things I thought. I mean, listen, like it's a great movie. I was like, I want to see it again. It's like, there's a chance I see it again, and I think it's a 7. I think the stuff that bothers you about this movie will slowly kind of start to dissipate.
That happened with me.
Yep.
Like once you get past, like I think if we get reasons for the things that are kind of like bothering us too, I was like, it's not like I walked out of it like after Age of Ultron, it's just like, huh.
Well, that's what fixed a lot of my thoughts about the time travel, like getting reasoning for it. But yeah, Age of Ultron. Ugh.
Can we ask what happened to Vision? So what, at the end of all of this, is Vision?
Again, the Russos answered it slightly, kind of.
This is not so. It's an interview, so it's official until somebody decides to do something other with it.
Well, I think as of right now, I think what they said is Vision is gone. He was gone before the Stones. He wasn't part of the snap. Me personally, what I think is going to happen, Shuri is going to bring him back.
Sorry to interject. When we found out that Tony made Vision's voice after his what was that? Their butler back in the day.
Yeah,
Yes.
Jarvis.
Yeah,
Jarvis.
was awesome.
The only
Not
person
Vision,
to make
Jarvis. I'm sorry.
the only person to make the jump from
Yes.
TV to film.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
The guy
that
who
was very
played Jarvis
cool.
and Agent
Yeah,
Carter.
I noticed that.
Fantastic.
Very cool.
Fantastic
That was
little
very
nod.
cool. I think it was Ozzy next to me. I was like, oh man, that was a guy in the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very cool.
Yeah. It's just cool to see he like modeled his AI after his childhood. This guy that he grew up with, essentially.
Yeah, I mean,
Just a
do we
rather
know?
very intelligent system, I think is the acronym.
Yeah.
Oh, is that? Is
Yeah,
that what it
that's
is?
why it's
That's
Jarvis.
funny. But did they ever say if he had interaction with Tony Jarvis?
I mean,
I
they
got
must
that.
have.
I got that
I
from
guess
that scene
assumed,
when he
right?
saw him and like the look he gave. That's what I got from that scene. I don't know if they ever said it though.
Yeah, very cool. I mean, again, go see the movie if you haven't. And if you haven't, well, we ruined most of it. There might have been one or two things that we didn't talk about.
We didn't talk about Nebula enough.
Yeah. Well, so Zach, we didn't get to you. We were interjecting.
Oh yeah, I mean that's all I do.
I said we were all interjecting, but
I really liked the movie a lot, as you could tell from my comic grade. I thought it was really well done. I think the start of the movie was excellent. The opening shot with where Hawkeye was essentially at the snap was brilliantly shot.
Yeah.
You didn't
was very good,
see
yeah.
anything. It was just they frame it just the right way where somebody's at a shot and then he turns around and they're gone.
And you just see the flickers of the.
the teensy bit of dust
That's
floating
got to be
away.
the craziest part, to like just look away for a second, no one else being around, and
Yep.
just be like, wait, what the hell's going on? Like, he has no idea.
It's horrifying.
Yeah.
It was absolutely horrifying. It was a great way to start the movie. I thought the fact that they start the movie, they find Thanos, they defeat Thanos, and then it's boom, 5 years later. I thought that was pretty
Did
cool.
not expect that at all.
It's going to lead for a lot of weirdness in the Marvel Universe going forward. I mean, you want to start opening up like a can of worms. What do you do with people's houses or apartments that they've snapped away? They're
3.5 billion people.
Right.
You got to think about.
Someone's probably moved into that place. What do you do? Where's their stuff? You paid out life insurance policies, X, Y, and Z on all these
Yeah,
people.
who was paying for Scott Lang's stuff to be put in there?
Yeah, I mean,
If a baby or something disappeared.
you can start nitpicking all this stuff, but you don't need to. It's a comic book movie.
exactly.
There's some stuff
We
you
don't
just
need to, but we're
suspend
going
your
to.
disbelief for. I thought some of the stuff was really good. I thought Thor's dad bod was pretty funny. You bring up that he was probably doing Men in Black International, and he's thinned down for that one, so that does make a lot of sense to give him kind of like a beefier kind of look. Once again, sell a different action figure.
That's true.
And I think that was an interesting way of showing the physical toll that what he thought his actions did. His actions resulted in the death of all these people across the galaxy, and he's taking that all on himself, and he's let himself go. I thought
shows the humanity.
I thought that was really cool. I think that his depression and not thinking himself worthy was weird, interesting. I think the fact that he didn't have Mjolnir to kind of like reaffirm himself definitely threw him off too. And I think that they focused a lot on him in Infinity War, so they took a little bit of a step back for him on this movie, which is why he's not in it as much. The focus on the movie really was, Iron Man, Cap, and to an extent, I think Black Widow. Black Widow scenes, all of them were fantastic.
Yeah.
Her breaking down while talking to everybody, who's doing what where,
Yeah.
and then sits down with the sandwich, incredible acting. I think the best acting we've gotten out of Scarlett Johansson in all the movies, and her intro scene in Avengers is still like awesome. The reverse interrogation.
I love that.
Vormir totally surprised me. The fight on Vormir was great between Hawkeye and Black Widow. Basically, the two of them fighting about who was going to kill themselves. That was
a great scene. I feel like as soon as they got there, and I realized like it's got to be her. Like there's no way I saw that it was going to be him.
I thought it was totally going to be him.
I totally did too.
Right away, I knew it was her.
I didn't think that at all.
It's
and especially that last time where he tripped her up, he got her, and like he was right at the edge there. I was like, that's it, this is it. And then they surprised us. That was awesome. Cap wielding Mjolnir at the end. Chill. I saw this movie at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning because I missed out on the initial run of tickets. So I'm waking up at like 6:30 in the morning to drive a half hour to see this movie with friends further out on the island, and like it's 10:30 at this point in the morning. I think when this scene happens, maybe close to 11. And I was just like shaking probably the entire row because I was geeking out so hard. It was awesome. It was like everything I was hoping it would be. The fact that he like has the hammer and then he starts running and he's swinging it the exact same way that
I knew they
Thor
did that
does.
at some point.
Oh my god, it was
did.
awesome. I had completely forgotten about it. So the fact that they did it was just tremendous.
Yeah, well, they were saying like he always knew he was worthy. He just didn't want to hurt his.
Exactly.
And I think the last point I want to touch on that I loved, like Nebula, the development for Nebula, just between her intro in Guardians, where we see her in Guardians 2, Infinity War, in this movie. Surprise big character for me.
I can see that, yeah.
I mean,
She definitely grew. She grew.
Yeah, she had a lot of depth in this.
She
movie,
had
for
a ton of growth. The direct comparison, the side-by-side comparison to where she started right before we met her in Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's funny, yeah.
And like where she winds up by this movie. It's awesome. And I'd like to echo Matt's sentiments from earlier. I'm really excited for the new Guardians movie now.
Yeah.
And you could see that like when they were together, both the older one and then her, you could see the comparison of, she was a nasty, hardcore bad girl.
Yep.
And then here you got Nebula, who she turned good.
Has become the hero, has turned herself
It was
around.
cool to see that side-by-side comparison there.
It's fantastic. And having her be the weak link, the unexpected weak link was clever.
Yeah, it was interesting. It made her role even bigger.
Yep.
Honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I thought the movie was really. I mean, we already talked about some of the issues, some of the problems, some of the nitpicks, but I'm not going to nitpick it. It was a very satisfying movie to me. It was a very satisfying ending. It was a very satisfying culmination for what they've built in 22 movies, and this has never been done before.
I agree.
No.
So even for the little
scale of it
flaws,
is just unbelievable.
it's unreal. I can't believe they were able to tie as much together as they did.
No, they did an excellent job. These two guys.
I mean, the journey. I mean, when you think about it, 2008. Can you even remember where you were in 2008? I just started my new job.
I had missed Iron Man in theaters.
I think I saw Iron Man in theaters.
I saw it in theaters,
theater.
but I missed opening day because I was in Italy. Study abroad. Hello.
I mean, it's
So the Doctor Strange. So how many variations? What was like 14 million?
14 million something,
something.
and only one they were.
And the one, it all started with a cat.
No, the rat.
Was it a rat or a cat?
It was a rat.
It was a rat.
Okay, it was a rat.
Yeah, it was because of the rat. If that rat didn't,
So that was the one-
If that rat walked 2 inches to the left, no dice.
Interesting. Okay. A rat.
So, are you guys excited to see more of in these future movies? Because we don't really have a Phase 4 yet,
Well,
just
Not
except
officially.
for rumors and stuff.
the rumors that the one rumor that I liked with the scene with the whole sandwich scene, Scarlett Johansson, she brings up, the earthquakes and the underwater earthquakes in the Pacific. I mean, that opened up, maybe a little Submariner.
You got that first appearance, Jim?
Not the Submariner, no. No,
he's got the first Silver Age.
I do.
Nice.
That,
He's got,
that I have.
he's got a couple golden.
And I got Golden Age Submariners. Yes, I do.
Do you have first Roman?
I do not.
You should try and get on that. So Roman is the.
You don't remember that joke?
We talked. When did we talk about that?
Was this
you were
Wednesday?
out. Yeah, it was this Wednesday.
That was the Rob Liefeld, right?
Rob Liefeld's
I'm not buying any of his
homage.
crap. Yep. No. No.
Listen, he doesn't steal all the. Wait, hold on. Let me think. All right, I'll get back.
No. Yeah.
I think I have the word.
Yeah.
But that was a cool little rumor. Hopefully, it's going to be true.
Mm-hmm.
I can totally see that happening. I mean, they're saying possible big bad for Black Panther 2. I don't know if we would see him that soon. We could.
Someone probably was like, "Hey, remember when Namor flooded Wakanda at the end of AVX?
Yeah.
It's probably got to be related to that." And maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm definitely excited to see Thor as part of the Guardians.
Especially since James Gunn is
I mean,
back.
I think there's going to
He knows what he's
be,
doing with
they're
them.
supposed to be doing is this him? Are we going to be seeing Warlock in that movie?
I don't know.
I mean, he's the
It's been
last movie that was who it was supposed to be, right? Who was that group that they came across? I can't remember their names. They were all golden-looking people.
Oh, crikey.
I only saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2 toy once.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen it a second time.
Yeah, Kurt Russell, very weird in that.
Because they never really finished that off, did they?
No, I mean, they kind of you see the cocoon, and I mean, I think
And that
you
was
see
it.
him, It's kind of
That's right.
So it's his first appearance is very convoluted because there's an appearance when he's him, then he's a cocoon, then it's him as
Officially Adam Warlock, yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness! I was like, I'm not getting his book. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to see what happens with him, Warlock. But this, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you're forgetting the other, like the Ravagers, like the Ravager Guardians. That we saw at the very
that's
end of the
right.
movie.
That was
Sly
the
Stallone.
Stallone and all
Wait,
that.
was he there?
Yeah.
he
You
was
kidding
there.
me?
Oh, you're talking about Guardians.
In the Guardians.
Avengers.
So like, I assume that they're going to pick that up in Guardians 3.
Well-
We're going to have like the search for Gamora, like the search for Spock. Where like we have
Oh
this
my God,
this
I hope
time
it's not
displaced
Search for
Gamora.
Spock.
It's not.
It's really the only one
really
that I
hope.
didn't really like. I like the first one. I know this is a random, exit here. I really like Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Everyone get craps on it. It's not the weakest one that they've ever made.
Was it Search for Spock?
Yeah.
I've lived and died by only watch the the even numbered movies. So like I've seen Wrath of Khan.
I really like the one where they come back to Earth and search for the humpback whales.
Oh, that was 5, Voyage Home.
4.
Was that 4?
4.
5 is terrible too.
5 is
Five's the
Undiscovered Country, right?
No, that's
6. That one's also fantastic.
Yes. 5 is the one with Row Your Boat.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that's right.
Directed
That's
by
the one
Shatner,
where-
I believe.
With his weird half brother.
Yeah,
Spock's weird half brother.
Ay.
Yeah.
I never thought that was going to say.
Yeah. Craziness.
I'm excited to see how this phase wraps up. Apparently, the Spider-Man movie coming up, Far From Home, is the one that's wrapping up phase 3. So I guess it's going to like deal with the repercussions of the 5-year jump.
Yeah.
I assume that I was going to say Miles, Peter and all his friends basically.
Miles isn't going to be in it.
I would not be surprised if
Multiverse.
they wind up utilizing the 5-year gap to help age Miles. But I would imagine that like Peter and all his friends all got snapped away, which is why they're
So
all still
they
the
were
same
on.
age.
They were all on Jimmy Kimmel a couple days ago.
Oh, I didn't see
And Jimmy
it.
Kimmel asked them like, "What happened to you guys?" And they were like, "We have no idea. Like we're kind of just still in high school, I guess."
Wait, really?
Yeah, they said that.
Like no, they what?
Maybe they were trying to avoid spoilers, but they were like, "Yeah, I guess why are we still in high school, guys?" Like they did that whole thing.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Aunt May was snapped, they said for sure.
Boo.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Wait, it keeps her young, right?
there you go.
All right.
So I heard that what they're doing now is because they can't really show that Far From Home trailer in theaters because it's very spoilery.
Yep.
So they're putting it as the Avengers post-credit scenes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So we should go see Avengers again so we can
Just
watch
so we
that.
could watch
Just so
that.
we can see
Or
it in
you can,
Even
theaters.
though
or
we've
you
seen
can
it
go
on
on the
YouTube.
YouTubes.
Yeah,
Oh, YouTube? What's that?
I'm so excited.
Is
for
that
it.
like MySpace?
It's exactly like MySpace.
All right, does that mostly wrap up our Avengers talk?
I don't know. I feel like
I think we had much detailed conversation last time we talked that we didn't record.
I know it's been a while.
I'm trying to remember like what we talked about.
It was mostly the time travel thing, like logistics.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's enough right now, right?
yeah, I guess so. No one else wants to see any more. I mean, there are the Disney characters, so we're going to see that. So are we getting Falcon and Cap and Winter Soldier as Captain America, Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I would assume.
Well, it's a good question.
I'm all aboard on that, by the way. That was an awesome scene.
Yeah, I mean, just because of the world we live in, and I said this previously, is like there was no other way that was going to happen. Like there was no way it was going to go to Buck.
No, I don't think that in the
The
world
Russos
that
said they
they've
were thinking
built,
about it. They're trying to decide what to do.
And I'm pretty sure Disney was the one who says, well, if you have it between these two, you should probably do this one. And listen, it's fine. I mean, I don't love it because, I want it to continue to be Steve Rogers, but, we can't have that. So we'll see how it goes. I like that they're going to be together. Like that's definitely,
yeah.
like I would not want to watch a Cap Falcon TV show on its own. Like just Anthony Mackie, probably not signing on for that. But Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan?
Sebastian Stan, they have a really good rapport with one another.
Yeah, I like their the way they feed off of each other. So hopefully it turns
Anthony
out well.
Mackie's hysterical.
Yeah, apparently
He hates Tom Holland.
Is that legit?
I heard the same
That's
thing.
true
If you
story?
go on, there's like a 10-minute like compilation of every interview where he's like crapped on Tom Holland. It's so funny.
Does he actually hate him, or
Yeah,
is it
one-
just like he
one-
busts his chops? He's like, he's easy to get.
I feel like it's a little both.
okay.
Yeah.
I like to think it's the latter rather than the former.
They asked him like, "What do you think of Tom Holland?" And he's like, "Man, Tom's a little a-hole." He's like, he rides around with his like all his butlers and crap, and he's on all his lunch orders like he's on top of the world, like he's Robert Downey Jr.
He's jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, didn't Tom Holland come back and be like, yeah, he's done great. Like, I'm really excited for that Falcon movie. Oh, wait.
that was really good.
I was like, that's actually pretty funny.
That was hysterical.
We'll have to give kudos for Disney and Marvel to bring out the ladies during the battle, just the ladies themselves, which was kind of cool to see that. No,
It was. I mean, it was a little laughable how forced it was. I mean, I absolutely support that. Like, it was awesome they did that. Someone said it was because it was a specific book, like that team of girls that came out together.
It's like
It
A
was an
Force.
homage.
It's
Yeah.
not exactly A Force, but it's similar to A Force.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's the only part of the movie that took me out of the movie.
Yeah.
It's the only part of the movie that took me out of the movie, and I'm all for it. I'm all about it, but it just seemed way too manufactured. Yeah. I like even like the fact that like the new group, the new face is the one that's playing hot potato with the Infinity Gauntlet at the end is great. You're getting to see all these new characters like meet up with the old characters and kind of play this hot potato, and like it's literally like the passing of the torch, it's the passing of the gauntlet.
Yeah,
and it's the fact that they're running the gauntlet with the gauntlet, which is also kind of fun. It just, that one scene it took me out of the movie because I immediately realized what they were doing and what they were saying. And normally, like, it wouldn't be an issue, but it was just like, it was the climax of the movie. And like, you want to just leave people doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
If they didn't call attention to it, it would have been 100 times better.
And exactly. And when we were talking about this right after we saw the movie, I asked Jim's wife, June, and I was like, what did you think about that scene? Because like maybe I'm just, kind of like coming at it from a male perspective.
Right.
I don't know, maybe unknowingly jaded by it. She's like, it was weird. She's like, it didn't seem right. And I think that's...
Especially since Hope was in the van where they were trying to bring the gauntlet to at the beginning of that scene. Like, she and Ant-Man are in the van trying to get that quantum thing started up again. And then all of a sudden she's back where everyone else is.
Yeah.
It's a weird mix-up. It's a weird mistake.
Yeah.
It's a continuity goof. And once again, like I'm saying, like I know I don't really care.
But listen, like that's not going to knock it down to like a 5. Like, that's not a big enough deal. Like it was. I understand why they did it. It took a little away from it, but I think it's absolutely fine. It's like it would have been even greater if Captain Marvel wasn't a part of it. Like I really like most of the ladies of the MCU. It just I don't care for her portrayal.
With as much as with much that they forced her down our throats with all the Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to be so much bigger.
She was hardly in the movie.
I know.
Like there was 2 scenes.
She's probably in it for less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, and that's what bothered me about her. Like,
go ahead.
She was supposed to be this being that was supposed to, I thought, take out Thanos.
That's how they portrayed it.
I thought she was going to be the savior of everything.
That would have been unearned.
And
it would have been unearned.
Why build up to it like that?
That's what it was
and
built-
heavily implied.
It would have been unearned. She took out his ship. She took out a lot of his reinforcements, but they needed it story-wise to make a satisfying ending. It had to be the original 3. It had to be Thor. It had to be Captain America. It had to be Iron Man. That's the only way it's satisfying.
All right.
I'm a little uncomfortable with her power level too.
It's
like outside of Thor now. I mean, like outside of Thanos with all the Infinity Stones, no one doesn't seem to be a match for her now. So, like, what's her movie going to be? She fighting planets and destroying them?
No, they defeated the planet at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy too.
Oh, that's right, Ergo. Like, there's like
Ego.
Ego. Sorry,
It's all good.
I don't know.
That's why we have Zach here.
Hello.
I don't know who she's going to face.
I can't wait for Zach to start listing out issue numbers.
That's just gonna be the game we play from now on.
Jeez. Can you tell us the first appearance of Sharon Carter? It's Tales of Suspense 75. I think it's 75 actually.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so we've kind of beat that into the ground.
Everybody go see it if you haven't. It's a fantastic movie, and despite anything we say, we enjoyed it.
We did.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
I
very
much
satisfying.
Yes.
6.5.
Agreed.
So next we got Spider-Man though, which is going to be awesome.
Spider-Man.
Very excited for that.
Spider-Man. They played that music, right?
Yes, they did.
He does everything.
A spider can.
Oh, I didn't know that was the next part of the song.
I thought it was Spidey Bells.
Yeah,
So he can do anything a spider can do, but with only 2 arms.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now he's got those.
Think about that.
So what do we think of the trailer?
I'm surprised they went spoiler heavy in the trailer. I've never seen that in a trailer
I don't
before.
think there is. I think there's probably more.
What do you mean?
What spoiler are we
No,
talking
like
about?
I'm like about Tony. Like the fact that he's dead.
What?
Whoa. Wow.
Sorry.
Wow. That was loud.
That startled me.
I'm sorry.
Scared the Wow.
You're going to have to edit that.
It's okay. No, I'm just surprised they led with that.
Well,
and
I
put
think
that
it was
in there.
literally the day that they lifted the ban.
It was.
That they showed that.
Showed what? I didn't see it. Was there a new trailer?
You didn't see it?
The new trailer. I saw one trailer.
It came out like a week ago.
Did you see the
This week.
trailer that Tom Holland introduces?
No.
He's in the front of it, and he says this trailer is spoiler heavy for Avengers
see?
Endgame.
I didn't see that.
And then-
you have to do it with the British accent, man.
No, I didn't see that.
Close.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
And then the
Okay.
beginning is him.
Hi,
and,
Governor.
It's basically him and Happy mourning Tony.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Happy's in the trailer a lot.
Yeah,
I'll catch it
Happy's
later.
going to be a big part of the movie.
Which is great. I like
I'm
it.
happy
Which I'm
about
happy
that.
about that.
Guys,
You goofball.
I beat you to it.
I'm super pumped for Mysterio. He looks awesome.
Yeah, I still feel like he's a villain, even though they're trying to convince us he's not.
Random factoid. I believe Jake Gyllenhaal was second to
was.
Tobey Maguire for the original Spider-Man
He was
role.
actually dating what's her name at the time,
Kirsten Dunst.
and when he got hurt on Seabiscuit, Tobey Maguire, they were going to replace him with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
And I learned something today.
Yeah. The more you know. That's not the music.
I'll put that music in. Don't worry about that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
No, but I'm super excited to see him.
Yeah,
I
no,
nabbed his first
it's- Oh yeah,
New, right? Recently.
So I was
Relatively
looking through the IG today because like the cards that we finally got, which we shared, I was like, oh, we broke 100 finally on something because this new crazy algorithm that they have on this gosh darn social medias.
Yeah.
It was like the last time we hit 100 was when I posted my Mysterio.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, people like the Mysterio. Yeah, but yeah, it looks good. I like that we're seeing a decent amount of Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. It seems like Maria Hill we saw too, right? We're
Yep.
gonna get more Maria Hill.
I'd like to see more of her. I don't feel like she's
I
been.
like
she's had
I
a
like
large
the
enough
idea of the
roles.
multiverse introduction here. It's definitely going to be the explanation for a lot more.
We'll see. I wonder if that's
uncomfortable?
part of. No, I wonder if that's part of. Is Mysterio who he says he is? Is he like if Nick Fury's been gone for 5 years? He's probably playing catch up in the
Yeah,
first place. So this is
absolutely.
how he's going to wind up making some mistakes. And if bringing Mysterio in, and
Oh, I totally think he's the villain.
I mean, he has to be.
He's gotta be.
I think that they've done a really cool thing by showing the different elemental like monsters.
That he's creating and controlling.
Probably,
somehow?
but like it's somebody that looks like Sandman, it's somebody that looks like Hydro Man, it's somebody that looks
Yeah.
like Molten Man.
Please let them all be in it. Please.
How many Amazing Spiders are you missing, Taz?
20.
Oy.
I have those though.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Somebody needs to bring back Flurkin. That's all I want. I didn't get to see it in Endgame. I want to see it soon.
Guardian 3.
He must have passed by this point, right?
Come on, no.
It's a Flurkin.
20
man.
years?
It's a Flurkin.
Not
It's-
Flurkin life is completely different than cat life.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why he wasn't protecting Fury then.
Yeah. So that's the last one for Phase 3. But then,
Is that officially the last Phase 3 movie?
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's it for the rest of the year, right? For the MCU?
yeah, because
Yes.
the next point we have is that Disney announced their slate through 2028, and
Right.
has a lot of Marvel's movies on there, but they're all entitled.
Well, I heard that there's going to be an announcement for all the MCU movies from Kevin Feige coming in the summer, which, I mean, the only thing I can think
Comic-Con
of is
International.
San Diego Comic-Con. So I think by August, we'll pretty much know.
Well, the
what's
next
coming.
Marvel movie slated after Spider-Man is May 1st, 2020.
Black Panther 2.
Probably.
That's almost, I'd guarantee
Yeah.
it.
Then they got basically 2 a year.
And then there's probably,
Guardians? No, next
it's
year.
probably Doctor Strange 2.
Wow, I forgot there's only been one of those.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. There is only one. It seems like there's been more of those.
It's just because he's popped up a lot recently.
Yeah.
You know, he showed up
I'd
in
like to
Thor
see another one.
Ragnarok.
Because I like him.
What's this movie coming out on April 3rd? New Mutants.
Oh man,
New Mutants not coming
I
out.
was gonna forward you something. It's just like it got pushed again, and it's just like it's never coming out.
I am so excited to see that movie.
You're not going to see it.
I know.
It's not going to
Yeah.
happen.
I know.
So
Wait, it was pushed
looks-
back again after this?
I think I saw that.
What's the date on? Is it 2020?
Yeah,
I think
April
that's-
2020.
I think that's where it is.
I don't think it's getting released. I'll be honest,
It's too far away.
not in the theaters.
If they've done the reshoots, they'll show it in theaters. If they haven't sunk more money into it, I wouldn't be surprised if they take it off and put it on Disney Plus.
Are you talking May 2020?
Hulu.
April 2020.
That's almost a year away. Like this movie's been done.
It gives them time to do the reshoots, though, I guess, that they need to do.
Hulu. That's where we're gonna see it.
I don't see that movie being released.
That's a shame. It looked awesome.
Yeah.
I don't see Disney throwing away
These
something that
characters are
they've
awful.
essentially
That's
already
why I'm not
filmed.
excited for it.
Well, you read the original comic books. I get that. I read them too.
What else we got on that slate?
So before we go into that one, James Cameron.
Yeah.
You saw his congratulations.
Did you see that, Zach?
So I took a picture of it,
I saw it.
and I want to read it for everyone who hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah.
And God, I
feel like it's a little. I mean, I guess it's been 100 years since Titanic.
Yeah.
But,
So 1997. How many BTSs is that?
was ATS. Two
ATS.
So he said to Kevin and everybody at Marvel, an iceberg sank the real Titanic. It took the Avengers to sink my Titanic. And I'm putting emphasis on these words specifically because that's how I read them. Everyone here at Lightstorm Entertainment salutes your amazing achievement. You've shown that the movie industry is not only alive and well, it's bigger than ever. Jim Cameron. He goes by Jim? Mm-hmm. You should talk to him about that. He said, you're the only Jim.
Yeah, he should be James.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it was a real thank you, but a little bit backhandedness, a little egocentric.
A little bit. George Lucas did the same thing when Titanic beat Star Wars.
I vaguely remember that.
It was a little thing of the Titanic sinking and all the Star Wars characters hanging on the ship.
Really?
What's it going to do when it beats out
I'd like to see
Avatar?
I don't know if it's going to. It dropped 60% this weekend.
Did Pikachu beat it out?
It might.
Yeah, but is Avatar? Is that just box office?
It's about 600 million away from Avatar. I think still
600 million.
I think.
But is that 2 points?
Yeah, but that's over
2.6
in like 50 days that they made. That.
Yeah.
Is it going to make $600 million though? By
In another 220 days.
what do you mean 220 days?
So
This is gonna be
the
in
money that
theaters.
they've made, that Avengers has made so far, has been in what 15 days.
Yeah.
The money that they made, that they're showing how much money that Avatar made, that's over how long it was out, which was 250 days or something like that.
It was out for 7 months.
Yeah.
What?
It was like first to utilize 3D technology the way
Wow.
that it did. It was revolutionary, so people did see it.
think
I saw it twice.
specifically.
in
It was like
theaters.
239 days. It said.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was definitely revolutionary for the time.
So give Avengers another 200
Yeah.
days. and
I don't know
we'll
if
see.
Avengers is going to have the staying power.
I don't know.
I think
it's currently at 2.3.
Was it only a 3D movie?
Avatar? No.
No, I think they still had a regular version, but
I don't remember how I saw it.
I don't know. It's definitely. I saw it in 3D twice. I saw it once, and I dragged people to go see it.
Because I would think
with
that
me
should be a different
second
type of
time.
movie. Like it's
I think I saw it in 3D as well. I probably saw IMAX 3D because that was the way they told you.
a movie's a movie. I understand.
It's got to make 400 million to beat it.
I could.
and let's so how long? So you're saying it over how many days it took Avatar to make that?
200 and something.
So at this
230.
point, where we're 16 days into Endgame and it made already over 2 billion, how long did it take Avatar to reach this point?
I think it got there much faster.
Oh,
than
did it?
Avatar did. Yeah.
We're seeing. This is a movie.
Detective Pikachu actually topped Avengers this weekend.
I believe it.
I believe it. Yeah.
We're seeing in this movie as a 2019 movie, and there's such a prevalence for streaming at home and seeing things at home, and people, I guess, pirating movies and being able to enjoy them on their phones at home, wherever.
Yeah.
So you're going to see, I think, a little bit of a drop on Avengers Endgame because people who wanted to see it had to see it before spoilers came out. So
Right.
there was that initial push where everyone had to go to the theaters. I don't know if it's going to beat Avatar.
And we know now that movies generally take a lot of less time to be released digitally on
Yeah.
DVD than it did
It's
back
just a
in
couple
1997 when Avatar came out.
No,
And
it didn't come out in 1990.
Whatever it did.
Yeah, that was like
2009.
2000.
Even still,
Avatar
2009.
came out in 2009?
Yeah, even still
I think
2009. it took,
Blockbuster
like-
was still open then.
Yeah.
So you could have rented it
Wow,
at
I
Blockbuster.
don't.
I hope it beats it.
Yeah, I mean it'd be nice.
Avatar is no.
Either
place
way,
in
Disney
those.
doesn't care. They own both of them now.
Yeah.
That's true.
I guarantee
Can we-
you that
do they own-
Avatar 2 will
Can
not
we discuss
beat any records.
Avatars 2, 3, 4, and 5?
Why?
Please?
Why?
I think you mean 2, and then we're good.
I think
Do we
they're all
even
being
need it
made.
to? I don't understand why we.
Do we need any sequels ever?
4 sequels 10 years later.
Yes.
Do we?
Yeah.
When did Terminator 1 come out?
1984.
And then when did T2 come out?
1992.
92?
I'm guessing, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
I mean, that was a pretty big a pretty sizable gap between sequels. And I would argue that T2 is better than T1.
You no need to argue. That's correct.
I know. I mean, I'd be surprised.
I was right about the first. The second was 91.
Hey,
2009.
I maybe he's got something up his sleeve on Avatar. You know, the Fern Gully movie
Guess
was
we'll
good
see.
for doing the 3D effects. Maybe he's doing something bigger and better with this one.
We'll see. Maybe they'll take it into space. I don't know.
Wait, they were in space.
They were on a planet that's in space.
What were they going for? Unobtainium?
I don't know. I didn't think it was adamantium.
It was unobtainium.
I don't know. I've seen it once.
No,
You-
they got-
do you guys know any names of characters in that movie?
No,
Willow.
I couldn't tell you anything about that. I've seen it once, and I think I saw it in a theater.
Was there a John?
I only know they were tall blue people.
Jake Sully.
Yeah.
Jake Sully. Anyway,
yeah, a lot of movies coming up.
yeah.
We're not getting another Star Wars till 2022.
Which I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm fine. I think
I'd like a break.
I actually think that's a little too soon. Even
Yeah,
it's 3 years away.
I'd like a break.
yeah,
Well, you know what? I think it's okay because it's not going to be. It's like this
Completely
saga is
unrelated.
done.
Yeah.
Like the saga that we know, it's over. Let's move on to.
yeah.
a
Until they
different
want some
world.
more money for 10, 11, 12.
We'll see.
That ain't gonna happen. I think they're done. They're done.
Yeah, I think this trilogy though is going to be the Game of Thrones guys trilogy. Zach's breathing a lot. What's going on?
I really wanted to see a sequel to Solo.
I do too. I really do.
I feel like it was going to be a Tatooine trilogy. It was going to be like, you know, Solo was the main character in the first one, and then we were going to get like an Obi-Wan movie and then like a Boba Fett movie or something along those lines where we are going to
Yeah.
see all those characters kind of pop up in this kind of slightly disconnected universe.
They could.
They
still-
kind of left that solo movie open.
They're never going to do it.
They're not going to do it though, but they left it open.
It was supposed to
do
be.
it.
It
Yeah.
was supposed to be done, but I think the backlash, the fan backlash, where everyone
Yeah.
was just like, "I'm not going to go see this movie."
Yeah,
What I'm hearing is that they scrapped Kenobi movie, but they're doing that on Disney Plus as a show.
which is great.
Which I'd prefer.
rather have that.
I want to see more of that.
Is it Ewan McGregor? Please tell me.
If it's
Ewan
not,
McGregor.
I'm not on board. But I can't see why it wouldn't be.
Hello there.
I hope it's Ewan McGregor.
Hello there.
Yes.
So brief break from movies. Did you guys hear about this kid who dressed up as Spider-Man and beat up a pedophile?
I did not hear that.
No,
You wrote that on the thing. I was like, what? And I didn't Google it. I was going to wait for you to explain
So
it.
I'm starting to kind of put these things down as during the week as I see them. I was like, all right, we got to talk about these things because a lot of times we get in there, we're talking, and it's just like, Spider-Man, comic book movie. All right, that's it. That's all we got this week. See you next week, guys. But yeah, apparently some kid in Brazil lured somebody from a website. He recorded it to a location. He was dressed as Spider-Man. He had weapons on him. I don't know if he used the weapons, but he beat up this suspected pedophile. And the cops came and he gave him a flash drive of all the stuff. The kid did actually get arrested as well. The guy was brought to a hospital, but I think also later arrested. I don't know if the kid was released. I didn't hear any more about the story, but it was pretty funny, pretty cool story. Definitely don't recommend anybody do this, but
So you're telling me he caught this pedophile in a trap like a web?
yes,
Interesting. On the World Wide Web?
yes,
Interesting.
yeah. Wow. Yeah, it was an interesting story. I feel like it was at least
That's funny.
noteworthy to mention because
Yeah.
he was dressed as Spider-Man. But I mean, it's pretty funny how this world has. I think he was 15 years old. This
Wow.
kid, so it has
inspiring.
kind of effect, and it's not even in the U.S. It's in Brazil.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's just a reminder that this world has worldwide implications on everyone.
Yeah.
And then the Wachowski brothers, is that correct?
Wachowski,
yeah. I recently read that they're working on a new installment of The Matrix, specifically not a reboot. It's kind of a continuation, but not really clear on what's going on.
Is this going to tie John Wick to the Matrix universe?
That would be pretty cool if it did.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I haven't seen the second one. I heard it was amazing. The first one was awesome. I didn't watch the beginning, though. I heard what happened.
Oh, the beginning of John Wick? You didn't watch the beginning of John Wick?
I skipped.
Oh.
I picked up after it happened.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you just saw Theon Greyjoy just being a jerk with a Russian accent?
Yeah. I care for animals too much. People I don't care about. Yeah, so that's something. And then you guys want to talk about, so did you do anything for Free Comic Book Day, Zach? Probably
What was Free Comic Book Day? That was me.
last week.
last Saturday.
May the 4th.
Oh, I had a wedding.
Awesome.
So
So
I-
did they have
Was it
comic
comic
books there?
themed?
It was no comic theme to it. I danced. I drank. I was merry.
So you need better friends. We had a pretty awesome day.
Went to a couple stores.
Yeah, so we went to Best Comics. We went to Tor, Fourth World Comics, and
Grasshopper.
Comics. Yeah, it was a pretty awesome day, long day.
Spent more money than I wanted
Driving
to.
around, yeah.
Definitely spent more
It's
money.
always good when you have friends giving you the right advice.
You guys literally made me buy
spent-
that book
I
at
spent
the
your
last
money.
store.
Yeah.
What book was that?
The Batman 420, the Todd McFarlane cover.
First one.
Wait, which one?
420.
Come on, you know the first
say-
Todd McFarlane.
Come on, 420.
Oh, sorry.
The non-year 2 cover.
It's,
that he did.
It's a
423?
No, 431, I think.
Didn't you get a Spider-Man book too? At Best.
I did. I got Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man
Oh, maybe
33.
it is 423.
Which one is that one? Oh, that's the
It's
one
n-
where he's holding up. Yeah,
Yeah, it's my favorite Spider-Man cover.
It's an awesome cover.
Yeah,
I
it's a
take
really
it back.
nice
You're
cover.
absolutely right. You're
This one.
absolutely right. Yep.
423.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
It's before Death of the Family.
Yeah, it's great.
He,
Then I also got Amazing Spider-Man 33.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
They used that image in the first one, in the first Spider-Man with Holland at the end.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, when he's holding up the building.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
got it.
that was a good day. It was nice that all these stores let us in and just
Yeah,
chat
we had
with
a
them.
great
and
day.
Thanks to all those
Yeah,
guys.
the interactions with everybody was awesome.
Was everyone super busy? I remember when I used to work
Yeah.
Free Comic Day at Best. It was
Yeah.
like a
Yeah,
madhouse.
Grasshopper wasn't too busy, but we also got them at the tail end of the
Yeah,
day.
we
We
got
got
like
them at
4.
3 o'clock. It was 3 o'clock when we got there.
It's usually an early push. Everyone shows up early trying to get the stuff that they want, and usually by the end of the day, it's kind of quiet, which is nice. You need
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
They good cookies there.
Oh yeah, they did.
Cookies.
Yeah.
John's wife.
John's
John's
wife.
wife made
Oh.
very
We took the last of the chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
They were good. So thank you. Make more.
So did you get anything?
I'll be in next week.
Did you get anything on our journeys, Jim?
I bought 2 statues, a Billy Tucci statue of She, which is pretty cool, which I got him to sign when we went over to Fourth World.
That's cool.
So he was thankful for me to show him that. And then I got a Wonder Woman statue from Best also.
So Brian Boland.
Yes.
That one is so
Very-
nice.
It's a very
based
nice.
on the cover.
Yeah, we spent a lot of money at Best.
I saw. I am actually the one. I saw it back there. I was like, ooh. I was like, I think Jim has this cover. I was like, Jim, you have to buy the statue. He's like,
And I bought it.
Is the one where she's holding the lasso?
no,
No, she's standing like there's the
yes,
shield.
Yes, it is. But the shield.
Oh, no,
and
I know exactly which one it is. Yeah.
I think she is holding a lasso in that too, though.
It was a different one that I was thinking of.
Yeah.
It was like a white cover where she's holding the lasso out.
Yeah.
And she's saying something in a little
Yeah,
word.
the shield and
But I
the
know
helm
exactly
are
which
at
one
her
you're talking
feet.
about.
It's beautiful. That's when she had like the
Yep.
very big hair.
Yep.
It's great. It's a great piece.
And then I got to pick up my She books that I bought prior from Mr. Tucci, which are pretty cool.
got the
One's
metal
a
cover, right?
Metal cover, yeah. There's only 25 of them, and I was
That's
like
awesome.
the third person to buy them. It's a pretty cool cover.
I just gave just Jim a crazy look. So
That's
That's
then,
awesome.
And then the Star Wars Legion game from Grasshopper.
We gotta play that.
Nice.
Got to play that. And I was just there today to buy more Legion figures because now I'm obsessed.
Nice.
Even though I haven't played it yet.
Nice.
a friend of mine from work has been playing with his 3 brothers.
Yeah.
Like he loves it.
I play X-Wing. We used to play X-Wing a lot, and we didn't get to play. I have Armada, but I haven't played it yet. So I have all 3 games
Yeah,
now.
X-Wing was a lot of fun.
That was fun. So we'll
Nice.
get there. But yeah, it was a good day.
Yeah, great day.
I picked up stuff. I did.
You did. You picked up a few
Picked up a
things.
statue.
Come on.
Yeah, I got an awesome. So Best had an old DC Collectibles. I think it was
It was the
like,
Superman one, right?
Yeah, I think it was like
Christopher
early
Reeves.
'90s. It was a Christopher Reeve.
Pretty cool looking statue.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Like it's the nicest Christopher Reeve rendition in a statue that I've seen. I was like, I have to get this. And and Tommy did right by us. So I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I
He
got
did.
this one.
He did.
He
And,
gave us good deals that
Yeah,
day.
that was great. And then from Grasshopper, I got the first Bucky as Cap.
Ooh,
So it's probably a great deal now because he didn't become Cap.
Exactly. Number, go.
Cap 34. You asked me the volume. It's probably volume
Which cover
4
did I
or
get,
5.
though?
Did you get the Steve Epting or the Alex Ross? You got the Alex
got the
Ross.
Alex.
Yeah, you did.
I got a CGC 98 on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And a really good price on that
Yeah,
too.
very good
actually,
price, yeah.
Grasshopper.
It
treated us
wasn't
well.
even something that you'd had to ask about the price. Like,
Yeah.
I'll pay this, no problem.
That's awesome.
It was a great day.
Yeah, it was awesome. I can't wait to do that again. It was great to like interact as the Long Island Comic guys during a free comic book day. It's kind of the first time we got to do that.
Yeah.
So it's good. We'll
do more of that.
We're getting the name out there.
We got to make it out to
Different
Zap
ways.
one of these days.
Yeah,
They have that half off sale twice a year. And
that's
it's-
probably not the right day to go as a group. Then.
Right.
Maybe not as Long Island Comic guys, but as scavengers looking to fill our runs, that's like, we got to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they like don't even pull stuff down really, you know?
Oh yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, want to talk about where?
Yeah, so let's go with the new guy. You reading, watching anything?
Reading, just picking up my normal.
Well, they stopped SpongeBob, so I wasn't sure.
It's why I didn't get anything for Free Comic Day this year. And you think I'm kidding, but I have all of the Free Comic Day SpongeBob issues. I'm reading just the normal stuff I've been reading. So Batman, Detective Comics, Unbeatable Squirrel Girl is still an awesome
They're
read.
still doing that. I can't believe that.
I haven't been reading, but I've been picking up the new Criminal series. I read the first issue.
Brubaker and Phillips, right?
Brubaker and Phillips, they're fantastic pairing. I highly recommend all of their collaborations. Sleeper's terrific. That's a dive in the back issues from Wildstorm days. But their new Criminal series is really cool. That's really kind of about it. Walking Dead. Walking Dead had the craziest newest issue.
We have someone who's involved in Walking Dead.
Yeah, I stopped watching the show years ago.
You're gonna have to summarize what's happened lately for me at some point because I dropped off like a year ago, maybe.
Oh my god! I think they just killed off a major character.
Well, who'd they kill off?
I don't want to talk about it.
Tell me off air.
No, I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
It's issue number 191. You can find out about it online. It's something I thought might happen because this is the second to last issue in the fourth compendium.
Which is usually big stuff.
Usually
right?
big stuff happens at the end of the compendiums. I was thinking that this was something they were building to, and if they do it, and I really hope they did it, this is going to be a good one. So Walking Dead's finally kind of picking back up a little bit, picking up the pace.
Nice.
Watching stuff, I watched PBS last night. I have the PBS app on my Roku, and I watched a special on Tyrus Wong. I thought it was fascinating, but I really haven't been watching anything.
What did he write? What book did he do?
Tyrus Wong was the creative director for Bambi for Disney in the 40s.
There we go. Even better. That's awesome.
So that's nothing to do with comics, but it does have to do with art.
It does. It's good stuff.
That counts.
All right.
This is a geek podcast, not a specific.
A little weird, but that's cool. That's all good.
Tess, you want to go?
Weird flex, but okay.
Sure. So upon your recommendation last week, I read the first two issues of All Star Batman and Robin.
To be clear, it was not a recommendation because they are good per se. Just something I felt like are very interesting.
I didn't say that you said that they were good, but I read them. Very weird writing. Not a Batman I've ever read before.
What are you, dense? What are you, retarded? I'm the goddamn Batman.
Yeah. And that was like...
Beep, 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 beep.
No,
is that okay to
yeah, that's fine.
It's just not PC. It's
all right, all right.
Jesus. Yes, it is not PC. We've had this discussion with our friend Court.
God.
Yeah. So...
What'd you think,
weird.
though? Good art.
The art, yeah. I mean, it's Jim. It's
Scott
Scott Williams at his
Sinclair.
Jim Lee at his finest. But it's. I don't know if I'll be able to continue reading. It's just such a weird.
You need to get up to the yellow paint issue.
I gotta tell
Zach
you,
knows what I'm talking about.
It's a pretty awesome issue with yellow paint.
I'll get there. I'll probably finish it because it's only 12
10.
issues,
10 issues. It should have been 12, and they were supposed to do a 4-issue mini to cap it off.
So mind you, I
Never
started
happened.
reading the first issue on the Long Island Railroad. Pretty intense drawings with Vicky Vale in the beginning of those.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. I got to keep moving. I was like, this is a little risque for
Wait till
riding
you get the
train
issue
home.
with Black Canary.
Okay.
We do it with our masks on. It's better that way.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Okay.
All right, moving on from Frank Miller.
Yeah, so I'm also reading a lot of the
Sorry,
X-Men
Jim.
titles. I don't know.
No, I'm just going to have to read that now.
You should.
You really shouldn't.
Let's read it by next time. I want to talk about it more.
Sure.
Yeah, so X-Men, I'm reading. I don't know why I do this to myself, but I'm reading all the X titles, and as they grow more, I'm reading
that's a
more.
lot.
So I'm in 1993 right now, March. So just to clarify, I am reading X-Force, and I've got to put a big asterisk next to Excalibur because I kind of open it, I flick through the pages, and if there's anything that looks like it's worthwhile to read, I read that page. If not, I keep going. Very often do I stop. Not very often do I stop. X-Men title is very good. X Factor, Uncanny X-Men. I'll be honest, I did like the last issue of X-Force. They find, I don't know what Cable's ship's called, like that world thing that he lives on, but his team that he had, that he like Cannonball and all those guys, basically just the New Mutants kind of rejiggered.
Right.
They go to like Cable's ship to find out what's going on with him, like what happened, and like somehow Nick Fury and a team go there and try to like find out the same thing, and like they wind up taking out like Fury's team, but like the book ends with like War Machine being there. He's like, now you got to face me. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Was it like the Wild Pack with GW Bridge and
Yes.
Grizzly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah, but I mean, some of it's good, some of it bad. I just read one of the issues was one of the X teams go to Russia to try and stop some type of telepath who's like taking over a small town. It was weird. I was like, it wasn't bad. It was like,
Any relation to Colossus?
no, it wasn't a relation to
Okay.
Colossus, but they wind up killing Colossus's family in that issue and like stealing Ilyana from the house.
Oh my God. I'm trying to remember which issues these are.
I think it was probably either X-Men or it was either X-Men, Uncanny X-Men 200 or X-Men 19. But yeah, there's some weird characters that came up, and I mean, for the most part, some of them are good, some of them aren't great. So
Yeah, right.
we'll see what happens.
I've read a lot of the like that's almost like peak saturation point for the X titles.
Yeah,
Like
so
at their height.
by May, there's also going to be a Cable title.
Yep.
Which I'll be like, oh, that's another one to add. And then Deadpool eventually comes, but into the picture. So we'll see. I'll probably wind up completely dropping off of Excalibur and some other. Well, the reason I started is because like I'm just so OCD about knowing what's happening with everyone.
Yeah.
Because at one point,
But at some point, you got to Wikipedia some stuff.
There was a fracture though in what happened. So like at one point, you don't know where Nightcrawler and Kitty Pryde are. And like there was like the Phoenix, like there's a Phoenix from like the future that comes who's like the future daughter of Scott and Jean Grey. And like she has like some Phoenix powers, and like she's part of the X-Men for a while, and then they get attacked by the Ravagers. They leave these guys on Muir Island, and then they go back and they're not there, and they're just like, I was like, where are these three huge characters in the X-Men? And then I find out they're in this Excalibur book. I was like, oh gosh.
So it adds on to what you need to read.
Yeah, because I know it's
That's what gets annoying about some of
you
these.
don't really
Yeah.
need to read it, but I was just like, crossovers. It's like
I'm skipping it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, that's really all I've been reading. I'm trying to read more, but as you know, like you saw what's going on downstairs. I'm trying to get through all that stuff for the Forest Hills show. But I am watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah. We're going to have a Game of Thrones centered episode in a few weeks.
Yes.
Yeah, it's I think I'm part of the group where I've been a little let down so far. I'm hoping so.
I'm on the other side.
I think by the time this will get released, it'll be over, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll talk about it then, but we haven't seen the big episode at this point, which is supposed to be the 5th, which everyone says is the biggest episode of the show. So I guess we'll see if that's true.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm going to put it out there now. I think Daenerys is biting it this episode. That's my personal call.
Okay.
On Mother's Day?
Yeah. How messed up.
That'd be
Mother
dope.
of Dragons
That'd
on
be
Mother's
awesome.
Day?
George R.R. Martin would definitely say this has to happen.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That could be cool.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And then the Doom Patrol. I'm watching that too. It's still kind of weird. I haven't watched the most recent one, but like Cyborg randomly killed his father. Like this Mr. Nobody. Oh, sorry.
That's all good.
Mr. Nobody.
Spoilers.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Are you?
No,
catching
it's
up?
not.
Were you gonna watch it?
Yes. Yes.
I thought you said you gave up.
No, it's all right. It's all good.
Yeah.
All right. So check that off the box.
Yeah. So Mr. Nobody like kind
One
of
less thing you got to watch.
kind of messed with him. So it's I like it, but I don't love it. Like if you're like
You got to finish it at this point.
Like
though.
I told other people, if you're gonna watch only one of these DC shows, right now it's definitely Titans. Titans is fantastic. I am super excited for Swamp Thing, May 31st though.
Yeah, just got announced. The Secrets 92.
The girl who's in that was in Gotham one of the
Oh, really?
seasons. I think she was killed, but kind of a fan of her. So I'm excited to see what she does.
Nice.
And that's it.
Cool.
So who didn't go yet?
Matt and JJ.
Cool. So I haven't read any comics, but as I said,
Then go home.
somewhat related. The last episode we did, the Star Wars episode. So I've been reading Star Wars Master and Apprentice by Claudia Gray. It's an actual book with no pictures.
How do you read those?
It's tough. It took me a while.
Do you have to make the
also left
pictures?
to right.
What?
Yeah, no, but it's I finished it a couple days ago. It's kind of a lead into Phantom Menace, so you get a sense of Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon's relationship before, the whole thing in the Phantom Menace, and it's a totally different dynamic. And it's just she does a really good job of developing these characters up to the point that we know them as, and then tying it into that. So it kind of gives the Phantom Menace a whole new platform almost.
Who is this? Who wrote this?
Claudia Gray. She wrote Lost Stars.
Okay, that's why I knew the name.
Did you read that?
I did not.
Really good also.
The last Star Wars book I read was Darth Plagueis.
Yeah, I got to read that.
Which was really cool.
That's all I've read so far. And I watched the Back to the Future trilogy for the first time.
All three?
All three.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't have a favorite because I see them all as one movie.
Do you feel like you had to see it after they badmouthed it in Avengers Endgame?
I actually watched the first two before Endgame, so I was like literally the day before.
Really?
So I was very happy when I was
I got the reference.
Yeah. No, but I love them all. Honestly, the first one's probably my favorite, but I see it all as one movie.
They're all great.
Yeah.
They're all
enjoyable. I like the Western thing.
I think as a kid, I was most intrigued by the second one because of all the cool technology.
Yeah, because not knowing what the future would be.
The second one's so funny because they go back to the first movie and they do reshoots on some of the stuff in the first movie, and I just thought it was so cool. They recreated some of the shots.
Yeah,
it was very cool.
Not a great series.
Yeah.
And last night I actually watched Ed Norton Incredible Hulk for the first time.
Nice.
Oh, you've never seen that one?
Only MCU movie I've never seen.
Abomination.
Really?
Yeah. I'm sorry. No, I haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp yet, but
Really?
yeah.
That was very good.
I know, I got to watch it. No, but Incredible Hulk, I was surprised how much I liked it. I guess because you just don't hear about it as much.
Because it's kind of like one of those asterisk.
Yeah. Because everybody
MCU
knows
movies.
Ruffalo at this point. Mark
Yeah.
Ruffalo.
Well, I think it's intentional that you don't really know that because it is a Universal movie.
Yeah.
Even
But
though
it's still-
connected to the-
it's
considered
still-
part of the MCU.
Yeah. I thought he did an
And
awesome
that's,
job.
I think
though.
that's part of the deal of why we haven't seen another single Hulk movie.
It is. So I read about this today. Actually, the rights to Hulk to produce his character reverted back to Marvel, aka Disney, but Universal still has the right of first refusal to a standalone movie. So they won't let that happen.
So they won't. They haven't greenlit any movies.
But I mean, Disney just has to buy out one more rights. Which it shouldn't be too hard.
Well, that's what you guys didn't see the big. Have you gone on our mentions on Instagram?
No, I haven't.
So I mentioned something about somebody put something out there like, oh, if Henry Cavill doesn't return.
Oh, I did see that.
And it was like we must have got about 30 messages from what I said.
I read it. It was
That was
actually
funny.
pretty funny.
Yeah, and I was being very. I didn't reply as if I was going to reply from my personal account. I was being very diplomatic about it. But
You tried. You did good because I was waiting for some.
Tell
of those.
Zach what you said.
I didn't know this at all.
So they're like, who do you want to see play Superman if Henry Cavill doesn't return? I was like, I want to see this. I want to see the DC universe move to Disney. So
That got a lot of
people
likes.
were like, it's so funny like how people get fired up about it, and I get it because
I know.
I get fired up about some stuff too. But yeah, it's just I think they need a huge shakeup. Like,
do.
I like that they're focusing on single movies, and it's better.
You mean the way that Marvel started, and then they
Yes.
started bringing them together?
And we've talked about this so many times. Like, why are you trying to be anti-Marvel? I was like, why are you trying to be anti-successful? Like, that's what that is. I was like, listen, like, you can complain about Marvel and the Disney and like how it's, cookie cutter and whatever. It's really not that bad. It's like, it's not, mouseified, or if anything you want to say, it's like, yeah, it's probably toned down a little bit, but it's like I'm not going into Iron Man or X-Men expecting to see, Jim, you're making me nervous.
We're good. We're good.
Okay.
No.
I'm not going in expecting to see
No, I know what you mean.
Deadpool.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, it was just a fun little thing that I did.
I also saw Detective Pikachu today, if that's relevant.
Yeah, it is
Very
really
enjoyable. My generation grew up playing Pokemon, so this was awesome.
Pokemon came out in 1996, so that's one ATS. Is that right?
Yes. Still remember getting it when in like 98.
Was it 96? I thought it was later.
No, it was 96.
96
in
was
the
the
US?
first one.
Oh, was it 96 or was it 98?
I think it was 98 because I remember being a freshman in high school.
I was
watching it from the beginning.
I was in 6th grade.
No, the games came out first, I think.
The games did come
Yeah.
out first.
For what?
Game Boy Color.
I don't know if I believe
Yeah.
it. It definitely, the TV show was 98 though.
I distinctly remember going home watching the show, thinking, "Man, this is stupid," and watching it every single day. Every single day. This is a dumb show.
Yeah, I was a freshman in high school, and I remember coming down the hallway, and I can't remember the kid's name, but he would randomly, as loud as he could, because he was a cool kid, so he can get away with it. He was singing the theme song. I want to be the very best, like no one was before.
All right, so moving on.
Yeah, no, it was.
Luckily for you, I don't remember the rest.
It was really good. Ryan Reynolds essentially plays Ryan Reynolds.
Gotta catch him up.
Which is essentially Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, just without the cursing.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
It's great to see. Very enjoyable.
I would like to see it. I don't know if I would go out of my way to see it in the movie theater personally.
It's definitely more for people who played that stuff when they were kids, and people like kids now, obviously.
Yeah. How is the main character in it? Not Detective Pikachu, the other guy.
He's all right.
Okay.
Smith, right?
Yeah.
Smith.
Yeah. He's all right.
All right. Yeah. I saw Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom maybe 2 months ago.
He's not the focus, at least not for me.
Okay.
I was more like, oh my God, there's a Jigglypuff. Oh my God, there's a Charizard in the background.
Wow. Okay.
I never thought I'd hear somebody as an adult say that out loud. Oh God, there's a Jigglypuff. But I shouldn't be surprised. I've seen people who are considered grown adults running around Manhattan like, I don't really know a PC word to use to describe them, but they're like, oh my God, we saw it. It's this way. And I'm like, I think there's like an attack coming to New York City. And then I asked them, I was like, where are you running to or away from? They're like, oh, somebody found Charizard or something. I was like, are you kidding me? But yeah.
All right, Jim, how about you?
All right, so reading.
Anything?
I started reading Superman Birthright on DC Universe.
Is that Mark? That's Mark Waid and Lennell Yu?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Did you buy DC Universe yet, Zach?
No, not yet.
It's pretty good.
Everything's on there now.
I know.
Everything's on there. It's 12 issues. I think I'm up to issue 4 or 5. I'm digging it.
It's a cool 17th take on the Superman origin.
That's all it is. It's the same thing, but just spun a different way.
It's slightly updated for the technologically updated world.
Yep.
Nice.
Reading the Star Wars Dr.
Afra.
Nice. They it's one of those things where I've complained about this before in the past where, all right, they finished, the last month's issue, they finished an arc story. It's done. This new issue that just came out this week, it's a new arc. It's a different artist. So she looks
Pisses
different.
me off.
She looks different. And I don't like the way she looks. It looks like a stick figure.
What bothers me with that is when there's minor characters who I don't know, but I know how they look.
Right.
And then they look completely different. And I'm like, who the hell is this?
She's a main character, and she looks totally different. It's night and day. So I'm not going to rehash old stuff, but it drives me nuts.
I never jumped onto that book. I enjoyed her.
I like
kind of on Vader, and then when she disappeared, I was like, I'm good.
I like the story. I like where it was going, but this new issue really turned me off. Mm-hmm. It's just because of the way it's drawn. Yeah. That's really all I haven't really watched anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
watching Game of
Thrones. But we've
take your kids to see Detective Pikachu.
I'm going to.
All right, cool.
All right.
So I guess the next big thing we have is on the 19th. Mm-hmm. We're doing
the Forest Hill Show, which this will be released the day after that, so we'll have done it already.
So
everybody, hope you came to that.
Yeah, we're happy to have met you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, cool. So I guess that wraps it up for this episode, right?
Yeah. So
cool. Thank you so much, Zach, for joining us.
Zach,
hey,
welcome
happy to be here.
The club officially here.
Yeah.
I hope you continue to come.
Until next time, remember,
don't feed the geeks!